Hi friends, this month was kind of a short month in terms of record collecting. I only had one real visit to a shop, but I got a lot of records that I'm very excited about that I want to show you, so let's dive right into it. The first, one of my favorite people on the planet got me a copy of Station to Station by David Bowie. It's an original pressing from 1976 I should say. They're like my David Bowie dealer. I don't know a lot about David Bowie and they do, so I always go to them for advice, and when I was trying to get into David Bowie, I asked them where to start, and this was one of the albums they suggested, and they got it for me for my birthday, and I just very thankful, very grateful, and it's in such nice condition. Like there's ring wear and there's a little bit of a rip, but that's the kind of stuff I like, and they said they got a pretty good deal on it. I don't know what that means, they didn't give me a price. I assume like $20-$25 because that seems to be within their budget, but yeah, I'm just very grateful. So, great place to start for this month, and then we're gonna go straight into, I have a relationship with a company called Black Box Vinyl Club. They are a vinyl subscription company out of Chicago, and they send me a couple albums every month to promote on my TikTok, and this month they sent me Black Pumas and Brittany Howard. I didn't know either of these artists before I listened to their records, and both of them are incredible. The Black Pumas album is really nice. I love this inner sleeve with a picture of a cat, and then the record itself is this beautiful cream color. And then for Brittany's album, the sleeve is nothing to write home about, but there's this wonderful deep red album, and I love when records are as intentional as the music on them. I like that a lot. And actually, I just noticed this you can't really see it in the camera, but when that light reflects off of it, there's an inscription on one of the, I'm guessing it's some type of serial number. But that's really cool. That's what I love about albums. You always find something new. So I'm gonna leave these off to the side so I can look at them again later. And then next up, we have this stack from my only real trip to the store. So I went to my favorite record shop. I've been there plenty of times for these videos, but normally I go with a sense of intentionality. I go to buy specific albums, or I have my list and I'm very intentional with like, these are the ones I want. I was in a kind of a strange mood. I just didn't really know what I wanted to do, what I was looking for. I was kind of spaced out. So I ended up just going in and looking for albums based off of covers I liked. So the first up is Duke Ellington Unknown Sessions. I loved this wrap piano and piano bench. I thought this was a really cool photo. And then the graphic design kind of has this like ripped newspaper clippings style, but this came out in 1979, and I'm very interested to see what is on this. I have one or two other Duke Ellington albums, and they're both great, so I'm sure this is going to be wonderful, but I don't really know what to expect, but I'm excited. Next up, we have George Fayer, Echoes of Spain. And this is a piano and rhythm accompaniment album, so it's kind of just like piano melodies that, for me, when I listen to albums, I tend to think about how I would shoot a video with this music. So whether it be a TikTok or a YouTube video or just like an idea for a film that I'm just making up in my head as I'm listening, that's kind of what goes through my head when I listen. And so this type of album is fun because I am really, really itching to travel, especially having been locked down because of COVID for over a year. So Spain is on my list, and this makes me really want to go to Spain, but it's got that classic album feel with the portrait of the person who's directing or playing piano, and I'm assuming directing like the accompaniment, but this came out in 1956. It's the Vox production album, and it was $6. Next up, we have Wild Moth Over Again. Now, typically, I don't find albums that were created post-2000 used ever, and if I do, they're more than $15. But this album was $4. I have no idea what kind of music is on it. I just really enjoyed this photography on this cover. I like the design. It reminds me of the era of design when I started creating. So around 2010, 2011 is when I really started getting interest in making things, and this was very popular, this style of photography, this style of graphic design. So I was really intrigued, and it was $4, so I obviously I can spend $4 on taking a chance, but this album is got this beautiful purple ash tint to it. I don't know if you can really see like the specks of color within this. I don't know what this is called. Maybe a marbled look. I'm not sure, but lots of colored discs this week. And also I'm seeing now that there's another inscription on this. Like it says Lucky right here, and it says Wild Moth right here. Interesting. So I've never ever noticed that. I wonder if that's something that is common on other special discs that I have. So I'm gonna have to look into that now that I'm noticing that on all these albums. That's really exciting. I don't normally notice things while I'm making the video. It's typically that I notice them after the fact and forget to include them, or I notice them before and I talk about them, but it's nice. So the next album we have is Elvin Bishop at Rock My Soul. I got this for $5. I really liked this photo on the back cover. It came out in 1972. I have no idea what's on it. I am assuming it's gonna be some type of folk rock, but I could be completely wrong. But either way, I really liked the photography and it just looked like fun, so I got it. Next, I know this is a more popular album, that I'm not the first one to discover this album, but this Blondie album has been on my long list. Like, it's not on my actual want list, but it's been in the back of my head, and I've seen it the last 3 or 4 times I've went to this specific shop. And so since I was buying albums based off of covers I like, I got this one because I really do enjoy this album cover. I like it a lot. And I believe I've seen a song from this album floating around the internet somewhere within my zeitgeist. But I like it, and I'm excited to see what's on it. It came out in 1980, at least this pressing. Don't normally go for 80s albums, but I'm willing to take a chance. Next we have Lydia Cold Blood. I am in love with 1970s film photography, and this is a perfect example of the style that I like. I like all this yellow tint to it. I like that it is in focus, but it's not in very sharp focus. I like that this is both out of focus because of depth of field, but also kind of has this motion blur to it. There's some depth of field right here and here. I love that. So I picked it up. Looking at the back, I'm assuming this is going to be some type of Allman Brothers-esque album, but I could be completely wrong. It just looked really nice. It came out, where's the date? I know it said it on here. 1974, so it seems to be within my wheelhouse, so I'm just excited to see what might be on this. Who knows? And then the last from this session is The Incredible String Band. This came out in 1969. I got it for $5. I have no idea what's on this, but it's gonna be a good time no matter what. I'm generally good at finding music that I like just based off of pictures, because I think there is an art to marketing in terms of pairing images and videos with music, and I think I have a good handle on at least what I'm gonna be interested in based off of the images they paired with it. So excited to see what all of those sound like. And then the last, I went to a thrift store for the first time. And I don't normally look through records when I go to thrift stores, but this one, since it was the first time I was there, it happened to be a very clean store and very organized. And I'm like, okay, well, if they take care of their stuff so much and their record collection or record area seems to be very tidy, I'm sure they only put out albums that are in good condition. So I saw this Echoes of Glenn Miller album. I really liked this picture on the cover. I thought it was a really, really nice photograph. And I don't typically pull albums out when I'm shopping for records because I tend to just trust the stores that I go to on a regular basis. But since it's a new store, pulled this out. And looking at it in this light, there is a streak right here. It looks like someone ran their thumb across it. There's a smudge right here. But other than that, I'm sure with a little bit of cleaning, this could look brand new. And that's very rare for thrift store albums. And so for $1, I'm like, yeah, I'm willing to take that chance. So I did, and I'm interested to see what happens in the comments, because whenever I have albums that are of this monetary value, people come and tell me how my records aren't worth anything and they're very cheap, which, I mean, you're not wrong, but also monetary value isn't all that matters. So I'm really excited about all the records that I purchased. I liked that each set had its own experience with it. I had my very close friend give me a very wonderful gift, a sponsorship, give me 2 records that are now going to be in my favorite section that I'm going to have on very heavy rotation. I got to go to a shop that I always go to, but purchase albums that I've really never heard of or know anything about, which is an uncommon experience for a very common place. And then I bought an album from a thrift store, which is something I don't think I've bought from an actual thrift store in 3 or 4 years. So I'm very excited about everything that I got, and I'm just very grateful. And I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch more albums, if you want to watch more videos, there's a couple more here on the screen. If you want to see even more, subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for being here.